You're listening to Bizarre Buffet, a podcast of all you can eat weird. I'm your host, Mark Torriello.
I'm Jen Wilson.
And I'm Mark Bluestein.
There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
When we first went in, one of the people said, "Who are you?" And Tex said, "I'm the devil, and I'm here to do the devil's business."
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
How's it going?
How are you feeling? Is your mood well? I hope so.
Mine's good. I have about 3 cocktails
Oh, wow.
in my bloodstream.
Well, you know what? Me as well. And that means I'm ready to drive.
Yeah.
God, Mark.
I had a smoothie today, so I feel great.
Oh, I'm so happy. Smoothies are good. What kind of smoothie was that?
Banana, mango, some kale.
Oh, it's a very
Ooh,
summertime.
very healthy.
Yeah. And then I put a little bit of collagen peptide in it,
Oh,
helping with your hair and nail growth,
that's wonderful.
joint and bone health.
Oh, my joints really need the health. Yeah.
And,
we know a lot of joint issues.
We do. We know we have a lot of people in our lives with some joint issues.
We do.
And normally, I try to stay away from the milk, so I usually just blend it with water.
Oh,
There you go.
I like that.
I'm an almond milk kind of guy.
I like almond milk too in my coffee. My doctor wants me on a food elimination diet to see if this is what's triggering my migraines.
Oh,
Well, you know what? It's worth it in the pursuit of discovery.
Exactly.
You know,
But I did have that delicious Lady Gaga Oreo before.
oh my God, they were so good. They were.
They were.
I like the colors.
And I may or may not had a little General Chow's chicken.
I know. And maybe or maybe not a little wonton soup.
Exactly.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
But for the most part, I've been sticking to it, and
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But yeah,
That's good.
smoothies are
May I also recommend oat milk? Have you ever tried it?
I have. But I'm an almond milk fan.
Oh, I'm more of an oat milk. Okay.
I'm more of a breast milk kind of girl.
Ooh, that's the best one. You're right.
Just kidding.
So I have a question tonight.
Oh, what's the question?
So I want to know if either of you have ever been scammed.
Oh, I have a recent story, but Mark, do you have one?
Well, that's a really good question. I never thought about it.
Or do you think that you've possibly almost been scammed,
Yes.
but walked away from an offer that you couldn't refuse?
Actually, I have been scammed. I've been scammed by the federal government. It's called taxes. When I look at my paycheck and I see how much money is taken out of my taxes, I'm like, and for what? For what?
And then your tax return probably doesn't look that great either.
No. And
Mine
actually,
doesn't.
my parents, my mom and dad, they couldn't send me to public school because it was really dangerous and stuff. So they had to send me to Catholic school and pay tuition for it. But they had to pay taxes for the town that we lived in for the fucking school system, which I didn't even get to use. So the government most definitely is a huge pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Speaking of pyramid scheme,
It's a big
I
one.
just left one.
I know.
That will be an episode in the near future.
I, for one, cannot wait.
Or
I'm so
developing.
sorry. Yeah,
We're developing it.
that's right.
Mark, what about you? What was the time that you were scammed?
Well, it's funny because I was telling Jen earlier about the story that happened to me at work recently. Yeah, Mark's almost spitting out his drink.
I did the other week. Mark's doing it this week.
Yeah, we're all taking turns, and
Letting out our drinks.
So
we are.
tell us how you were scammed.
So, this happened about 2 days ago. What?
I just
It's fresh off the press.
it's just fresh.
Yeah, it is.
fresh like that smoothie Jen made.
That's right. It is. Well, as some of you listening may or may not know, in my regular job, I do hair. And so, you get new people who come in and, they contact you in a variety of ways. So it's not uncommon for people to use Yelp as a form of contact. Now, I don't deal in anything with Yelp because, the owner, Angela, our friend, that's her department. And so, she'll book people through that. And, it's normally most of the time okay until it's not. and this was this instance where it was not. So, long story short, she comes in and, she's very unsure of what she wants and, which is also not totally uncommon, but, you put it all together in the end that, she basically wanted all of these things and then was like setting the stage to say, I'm not going to pay. And that's what happened. So, a detailed account of all of it would really be very long. But, we ended up calling the police on her. We're going to court and we plan on wearing shoulder padded blazers.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Very Mugler.
Yeah.
I just got a vintage top in the mail that had shoulder pads. You can borrow it if you'd like.
Thank you. I would love to, as long as it's conservative.
It is.
Okay. All right.
So-
thank you for your offer. I will take it.
So it sounds to me like you did these services and you gave her exactly what she wanted.
Yes.
And then she was like, I don't like it. I'm not paying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
You said she seemed like she's done this before.
absolutely.
She's seasoned.
Yeah, it was all just too planned out. And, when you've been doing or working in a service industry for a long enough time, there's certain things that are indicators, and she had all of them. So,
Okay.
yeah. So, she ended up leaving after the police came in. And, that was my recent instance of being scammed.
Okay.
Most definitely.
All right.
What about you, Jen?
Yeah.
That's for another episode.
That's going to be part of the MLM.
So a couple of years ago, when I was doing my, daily Facebook scrolling, I came across this article about this girl named Anna Sorokin, who went by the name of Anna Delvey, who pretended to be a fake German heiress, and she swindled her friends and banks out of thousands of dollars. And she just this past month was released from prison.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I've been following this story and there's not a lot of details on it. But I just want to let you all know that she's alive and well, and I've been following her on social media and her Insta stories.
Oh my God.
What's her Instagram handle?
The Anna Delvey.
When it has there's somebody big.
Tell us everything. Like, how did she finagle this and all this jazz?
So I think her story constantly changed.
Okay.
According to her friends, everyone had a different account of who she was, where she came from. So the common story that she would tell people was that her father was a diplomat or he was an oil baron.
Oh.
And she had a fortune of more than $60 million overseas.
Oh, wow. A small amount of money.
A mere 60 million.
Mere
modest.
60 million.
Modest.
So she would just stay for months at a time at these high-end hotels in New York.
Living the life.
Living the life,
Yeah.
essentially.
Just living it up. She's soaking up the sun with Shania.
So when she was doing all this and living in these, high-end hotels and stuff in New York, how old was she?
She was 30.
Oh, so she was like a few years younger than me.
Yeah, she would stay at 11 Howard. She would stay at the Standard Hotel. And those are $400 or $500 just for one night.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness.
And she would stay in the suites for months at a time.
Wow.
And people claim that, she would just throw her money around, $100 bills to the concierge, to her taxi driver, to the bellboy, to,
So she was a good tipper.
she was a good tipper.
Okay.
And she was the type
All right.
that would, befriend people. And, when you would go for your wallet, when the bill came, she would say, no, I've got it.
Oh, I've
Okay, so
always-
she actually sounds like a considerate person.
Yes, a considerate person using other people's money. Ultimately.
So,
Damn it. How do I do that?
so, she, for instance, she promised a group of friends an all expense trip paid to Morocco.
Oh.
But wound up leaving her friend with the 62,000 bill.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
Wait. So she went on a trip to Morocco and she stiffed her friend a bill for $62,000.
Yeah, that was actually that was kind of the tipping point for her.
Oh my God.
Her friend actually wrote a book about the experience. It's called My Friend Anna. I did read it.
Oh, you okay?
I did.
Oh.
Rachel Deloche Williams.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
It was very fascinating.
Listen, Rachel, I'm just, person to person. I hope you didn't have to repay that debt. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no, she got it back
Okay.
because she's the one that took her to court.
Oh.
Because what wound up happening was one night they got a knock on the door at the hotel in Morocco and were told that there was not an active credit card on file.
Whoops.
And Anna was like, I'm tired. I
gotta go to
why do you
bed."
have to do this to me right now? And, she looked at her friend Rachel and was like, don't worry about it. I've got it covered. It's just to have on file. They're not going to charge it. And Rachel, I think at that time only had less than $1,000 in her bank account.
No.
And when she landed back in New York City and she checked her phone, she saw that the bill for $62,000 was charged to her card.
That's
not funny.
That's a big negative balance.
Yeah.
Listen, I feel like, a lot of people can relate to at some point in time having a negative balance. That's a big number though.
She persuaded a bank to lend her $100,000 and she never paid them back.
Wonder what bank that is.
I know.
Let me go.
Exactly, right?
Well,
I
you know
don't know.
What I find kind of funny is that, okay, so this girl, Anna, or this young woman, Anna, she seems kind of like a social climber, right? Like she's probably trying to hang around affluent people and get into all the best clubs and best this and money this, money that. But yet she's hanging around a girl that only has $1,000 in her bank account.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, girl, you climbed up the wrong social ladder. You're
Yeah,
trying to be
really.
in this money bag, sir.
For real.
Not to.
So,
I know, I get it though.
Yeah.
It's not untrue.
but she was talking about opening up a private arts club in New York, like Soho House.
Okay.
And she was trying to get a $22 million loan for it. That she wanted to open. That was the whole thing. It was going to be called the Anna Delvey Fund.
Oh.
I love the Anna Delvey Fund, and the fund is
Wait,
just for her.
Jen, what exactly is the Soho House? Because I'm clearly not cultured.
You're not cultured? Okay, so the Soho House is it's set in a former warehouse in the meatpacking district in Manhattan, right by the High Line, if you know
Yeah.
where the High Line and the Whitney Museum is. But essentially it's like a members only club, and you pay a membership to belong. And they have restaurants, they have a rooftop pool, they have screening rooms, they have hotel rooms. So it's kind of like a really high-end gym membership, I guess you could call it.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it is really nice. And, they have, let's see, I want to explore the membership
I mean,
just because I'm curious.
sometimes when I go to Crunch Fitness, if I want to spoil myself, I get a $5 smoothie when I'm leaving.
Well, that is quite gluttonous of you.
I know.
I can't believe you're telling everyone
I'm
this
gonna
right
be
now.
part of that. What's her name? Anna Delvey?
Anna Delvey.
I'm going to be part of the Anna Delvey Fund.
So I just want to pull up just because now I am just, let's see, should I do annually or monthly?
Let's do monthly.
All right, I'm going to look this up. I'm going to calculate the plan just because I'm curious to see how much a membership at the Soho House is.
Yeah.
Okay, apparently it's $13.33 a month.
Oh.
Oh.
That's less than my gym membership.
But like I know
really.
people who have Soho House memberships and like they'll go there to, you know, if they're a writer, they'll go there to because they have free Wi-Fi, so they'll go and sit all day and use the services there and get their writing done. It's like a members only club for hipsters.
I understand.
So that's kind of what she was looking to open, but for art, she claimed that her parents were big art collectors.
Oh, well, that's cool.
This girl's fun.
She also chartered a $35,000 plane to and from Nebraska. Like to Nebraska, of all places?
Where Aunt Becky on Full House is from?
Yes.
Why would she go there?
Well, she's also in prison now, too.
Well,
so,
Nebraska.
It works out.
Nebraska to where?
New York.
Oh, $35,000.
Listen.
Like a private jet situation.
She wasn't paying for it. What did she
wasn't
care?
paying for it.
I know.
But then I think what wound up happening was things started getting suspicious because she would do things like she would say, "Oh, I'm going to take the bill. It's on me," and then her card would be declined, and then just look at her friend and say, "Like, do you got this? You know, I'll pay you back," and then she never paid them back.
Oh boy. That's like when you have to ask somebody to send you money on Venmo, like when you go out to eat with people, you're like, okay, this is this, and then it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
She told people she was from Cologne, Germany. Actually, she was originally from Russia, and her family moved to Germany.
Okay.
And they
Eclectic.
said, like, some people said that there were times that, like, other shady things that she did, but she only paid cash.
Oh,
Well, that's okay.
yeah.
But it was like a lot. It was like a lot of money that she would just be like throwing on the table.
So if they went to like a high-end restaurant and the bill was like $2,700,
She'd be like,
She would,
money,
like-
money, money, cash.
she would like throw down $3,000. Wow.
She had a birthday get together down in Soho in New York, and you know it was a lot of cool, successful business people, and she was friends with this young gentleman. His name was Michael Huang, and I guess Instagram saw like the Polaroids of them from the party, and the restaurant actually messaged Michael and said, "Do you have her contact information?" Because she didn't pay her bill. And I think that's when he realized she wasn't legit because, you know, they went to Venice together. She owed him money for the trip.
Oh, God.
You know, they would go out.
What a troll.
They would, you know, or they would get a taxi and she would go to pay for it and it would decline and she owed him all this money. And I think that was the final straw for him was when
That happened.
he got a message from the restaurant on Instagram. But she like that. The crazy part too was like she just like flew all around the world
Yeah.
and stayed in all these high-end places.
And she slept on expensive sheets and, you know,
Also, she like shopped in like designer stores too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she wasn't like, you know, wearing like rags.
Yeah.
She was wearing like probably like, you know, designer stuff.
Yeah, most definitely.
So I think the thing that is like just blowing my mind is that she just was released from prison. And like I said, I've been following her crazy on social media, right? The thing that has like boggled my mind is because she actually just secured a Netflix deal to do a movie about her.
Oh, God.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be to pay everybody back who she owes. But on Instagram, she's just, I see her with Tom Ford shopping bags and, you know, staying at these really fancy, ritzy hotels and looks like she's, you know, living the life, doing more than I've done in the past year during COVID-19 in her like first month released from prison.
She's like, party.
Where is this money? Like, that's what I want to know
Yeah.
is where is this money coming from?
Well, how long was she in prison for?
2019. So like
A year.
Like a year and a half, 2 years.
I'll have slap on the wrist.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will even distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. I mean, how cool is that, right? It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. On with the show. My thought process.
I had money to begin with.
And she's not apologetic for what she did. Like, she's actually come out and said that. She's like, I'm not sorry for the things I did.
Well, let me step in here and just say something.
Yes, Mark has comments on this.
I don't mind that, because a lot of people that are rich, they started at the finish line, and that is stealing, in my opinion, from people that don't have the same privileges. And if she's stealing from banks, that's on them. They should have caught this from the get-go, right? Mm-hmm. And the government steals from us. Banks steal from us. It's called interest. Mm-hmm. So if she wants to steal from the system, I fully support it. And if she outsmarted the system, that's great. And if people were dumb enough to lend her $2,000 for a hotel bill, or whatever, that's also on them. So
it's true.
I'm not saying what she did was right. She most definitely is a scam and con artist, but at least she's doing it to the right people.
Well, yeah. And she has
the 1%.
The one friend that she has left. She met at one of the hotels she was staying at. Her friend she's a filmmaker. Mm-hmm. And that's the only friend she still has.
Yeah, and I can guarantee you the only reason she still has that friend is because the filmmaker saw an opportunity and they were like, so help me God, I'm going to benefit from you one way or another.
But it blows my mind. Like, she's getting these spa treatments and her hair done and her nails done. And walking around with these, designer shopping bags. And how do you just go into something like that knowing, I don't know, she must have had to really plan this out.
Yeah, or I don't know, maybe there was some account that she was funneling money into that was secured somewhere during all of this that no one has a knowledge of. But also side note, I would be willing to assume that, while she was in prison, she probably had some pen pals for the whole year and a half she was there. And I can guarantee you there are plenty of people who would give her money who actually are rich and will give it to her just because they're obsessed with her. Like how people are obsessed with serial killers and they marry
the other crazy thing too, if you want some really good entertainment, you can go on her Instagram. She has an active link in her bio, and it leads you to this pretty much blog that she started about her experience in prison. And she's like, I can't believe that they're no longer going to be having almond milk in the commissary.
They no longer have Cheez-Its.
It's just the things that you read. It's so privileged.
Yeah, of course. And
in the sense that she, it's you knew what you were doing. Mm-hmm. Now you're going to prison and you still think you're going to be able to live the life that you did before you were arrested.
Well,
it's true.
I have a question for you on your opinion, maybe.
Okay.
So I'm looking at her Instagram right now, and part of the description, she goes, "My life is performance art." Oh. Do you think that this whole thing of her scamming people, do you think she was trying to live a life of luxury on someone else's dime, or do you think she's trying to make a statement or a performance art piece? out of this.
I think she's trying to make a statement, and she's loving every second of it, because there are people that are making shirts that say, you know, fake German heiress. I've been scammed by Anna Delvey. You go online and buy them.
I want one.
It's so unfair.
I mean,
And she was apparently friends with Martin Shkreli. Am I saying that right?
I think so.
I don't know how that is.
He was the fucking little shit stain who upped all the AIDS medication. That little fucking shit fuck.
I hope he dies.
I know,
A
hopefully.
horrible death. He's
Hopefully.
She
such
was friends with him.
Wow.
And if I'm not mistaken, the guy that did the Fire Festival as well.
Yeah, so she's basically, you know, I think at this point, in terms of the performance art argument, I think at this point that's just her scamming once again and riding a wave of, okay, so now I've been to prison, I've paid my quote unquote debt to society, so now I am going to repurpose this and make money off of interviews and Netflix shows and basically live the life legally.
And the other reason I think that she was able to get away with doing what she was doing is, if you look at pictures of her, if you go on her Instagram, she's not dressed in like the most high-end fashion clothing. Like normally it looks like a big black burlap sack she's wearing.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that she put on this persona that like, yeah, I have money, but I don't dress like I have money.
So like a regular person who has money.
Like
was
if you
her.
go look at her Instagram and like just go back to, as Mark's scrolling through his phone looking now.
I know.
All right, so I come from like the luxury fashion world in terms of like retail and employment and everything. And what I have noticed is that there's so many people that want to flaunt and try to make it appear that they have money, but they don't.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they'll buy something from a luxury store, or they'll go to like Neiman Marcus or Nordstrom, where they have like very lenient return policies.
Yeah.
And I mean, way too fucking lenient.
It's a problem.
And it's a pandemic in itself. But they'll go to like Neiman Marcus, they'll buy, you know, a pair of like, you know, Valentino pumps, you know, Hervé Leger dress. Is Hervé Leger even around anymore? Did I just date myself?
No.
No.
All the Kardashians used to wear
Okay.
that bandage bodycon shit. Oh.
Or like they'll get like, I don't know, like Balenciaga outfit, right? They'll wear it, they'll take pictures of it, of their stupid shopping bag, and then they'll return it a week later and say that they never wore it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a common practice. I'm sure it's one that she probably utilized from time to time.
And just something that like also like the fact that she's so unapologetic for what she did. Like even if you go look at her Instagram and her captions, like there's a picture of her sitting at a restaurant table saying, "Used to be such a nice girl before they put me in prison, volume 1.
Oh God, bring a fucking.
Used to be such a nice girl before they put me in prison, volume 2. At least they left me with my Louboutins, and what's in me can't be confiscated."
No, it can't, because what's in you can't pay your fucking debt, you asshole.
But she like also like I saw on her Insta story the other night, she bought an apartment in New York, like overlooking the whole city. Like
Well-
she has a view to the whole fucking city.
Well, all I can say is that any of the major financial institutions out there, if you in this present day have given her any kind of loan to purchase this apartment, if it is in fact her apartment that she did purchase on her own, you absolutely deserve the debt that you will never get back. And that's the end.
Do you think she might have just had money in the first place, or like enough money to like?
I don't think so, but what I would be willing to, I mean, I don't know, a hypothesis, if you will. I
I'm
think she
surprised
funneled money away
Yeah.
when she was getting it.
Well, then she tweeted only agreeing to go back to Europe when they give black people reparations.
Oh my God, she is a fucking tool, this woman. I'm sorry. Yes, nice in theory.
But
In
I was
theory.
reading an article that said that like she is in jeopardy of being sent back to Europe. I mean, you committed a crime in a country that you are not a citizen of. I'm surprised they haven't fucking sent her back yet.
Send her back.
We don't need her. We have enough. You know, whatever happened to the old-fashioned Anna Nicole Smiths of the world, who I believe rightfully so earned that inheritance that she never fucking got a goddamn dime of.
Nope.
But let me tell you something. That woman, whatever she had to do and all the old balls she had to fondle or whatever it was, you know what? She was actually working for it despite, you know, everyone's hatred for her. So I don't know. Why don't you get creative, Anna Delvey, and actually, you know, I don't know, screw
Or
a
this
corpse.
picture that states, prison is so exhausting you wouldn't know.
I hate her, not because of what she did, but because of the person that she is. I hate her personality.
She was like
sucks.
worried about gaining weight in prison, so she took a job working in the gym so she could work out while she was working.
At least she's multitasking.
Oh, God. Yeah.
It's just, it blows my mind. And I think that's why I've been so drawn to this story for years. Was just, it blows my mind that you were able to scam that much money out of people.
Yeah. And I mean, I think part of this too, you know, I mean, we joke about a lot of things. That's something that we do. But with this girl, like clearly there is a disconnect with her that borders on, you know, like you have some sort of mental illness, most likely. Because, I mean, a lot of times people do these things not only because they want to live this life of luxury that they think is luxury, but they're doing it because it also is to impress other people. Just how her posting her fucking Tom Ford shopping bags and whatever else she's doing.
Right.
Is ultimately to impress people, like how she was trying to impress people before with money that wasn't hers. So, I mean, I would say anything that comes from her is to be questioned. Absolutely. I wouldn't believe anything that she says, and I don't believe that she deserves credit for shit. I do give her credit for being able to scam all of these major institutions, like Mark was saying, because I think it's fucking funny. And you know what? If they fell for it, well, your Citibank or Bank of America or whatever fucking financial entity, you should know better. The end. And, you know, I just think a lot of this is just her trying once again to paint herself as the person that she was trying to paint herself as before she went to prison. And that's it.
Well, now with the aftermath, I feel like now there's going to be a lot of these like 19-year-olds that are going to try to replicate this.
Yeah.
And it's not cute.
Well, like they're making it a fad, like I said,
Yeah.
with these shirts and bags that you can buy and...
Which I think if you're intelligent enough to wear it, you should go for it, but also don't do it if you actually believe in it. If you're making a joke, like the guy said who interviewed Phil Spector, even if it's a joke that only you know, as long as you fucking know the joke, you know, I don't think most people know the joke though, so be skeptical, be wary.
But yeah, she has a fan club. I mean, you know, our friend was judging me last week. She was like, "Oh yeah, I went on her Instagram and saw that you're following her." Yeah, because I want to know every fucking move she's making because I'm just so fascinated with the fact that like she was able to scam these people and then is out of prison just walking the streets like nothing's ever happened.
Absolutely. Like a year and a half. I mean,
I wish I had the brains to do something like that.
well, you know, you have the brains to not do it because
That's
people
true.
because people like us would be in prison for the rest of our lives. So
I know they would like throw the books down.
yeah,
on
the
us.
three of us would live out the remainder of our lives
in prison.
Yes.
And that's another thing. Like who? Like clearly she got like a decent lawyer, and that costs money. So on whose dime did she, you know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, she's privileged.
How they wound up getting her was she was allegedly in rehab out in LA.
Who was paying for that?
I don't know. And Rachel was going out there for a convention for work. And I guess tension was very high. And Rachel reached out to her and was like, "Hey, I'm going to be in town. Like, let's get together for lunch. And, you know, like, let's talk." And she's like, "Yeah, you know, I've been thinking about you and I'm so sorry." And, you know, Anna got in a taxi to get to the restaurant, and who was there but the police?
Popo.
Wow. Well, they caught Roman Polanski because they wanted to give him a fake award, and that's how they got him. Poor Roman. Like,
I know. They need to let him back into the United States.
I know. Something 80-something-year-old fucking... With this show, we often go back to a few people. Courtney Love.
Roman Polanski. Helen
Keller, Phil Spector, Charles Manson.
Yeah, these are unofficial patron saints. But,
Yes.
They sponsor us.
Yeah, exactly. They sponsor us. But it's fascinating though, right? Because it's definitely something of who you know or what your place is within society or connects, because fucking old ass Roman Polanski at 70 some years old probably was arrested, and they came up with this elaborate thing to arrest him. And you're like, really? And yet this other woman, basically got away with...
Well, I feel like our views on Roman Polanski is going to be unpopular. Opinion.
It might be an unpopular
it's another
opinion.
episode in itself.
But
It
apparently...
is. But I'll fight you on it.
We're going to get hate mail.
But...
This probably will be it.
Probably.
I support Roman Polanski. Too bad.
Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah. Mia Farrow. Yeah, I don't support Mia Farrow, though. I do believe that she's an asshole. See? I'm fair. See, I'm very fair.
But
I'm the fairest person you'll ever fucking meet.
I forgot to add this little tidbit, which I'm also like, what the fuck? Shonda Rhimes is producing the Netflix series. So Shonda Rhimes has done Grey's Anatomy. She's done How to Get Away with Murder, like these successful television shows. And Julia Garner is playing Anna Delvey.
Who's that?
For those of you who don't
either.
know, yes, you do. You absolutely know who she is. She's on Ozark, okay?
I've never fucking
don't
seen
know what that
Ozark.
is.
She plays Ruth on Ozark, but she was in Waco.
Is she the Culkin or the Woods? She's related to somebody that
No.
Elizabeth
we go
Olsen.
through this all the time. She played Michelle
Mary
Jones.
Tyler Moore.
Oh my goodness. She played Michelle Jones in Waco. She was the blonde girl who had the baby.
Yes, but isn't she related to somebody famous?
No, Rory Culkin in Waco
Rory Culkin.
is Macaulay Culkin's little brother.
I knew there was a connect. God.
And then let's see. The best part is, guess who else is going to be in it?
Leanne Rhymes.
Our girl Anna Chomsky from My Girl.
Veda.
Veda?
Oh yeah.
Where's his glasses?
Where's his glasses?
Wait,
I can't see without his glasses.
We always pay tribute to My Girl too.
I think there's
Bizarre buffet.
Didn't we last week mention My
We
Girl?
absolutely did. And the week before that,
Oh,
We're
Jesus
consistent.
we are very
Yeah.
consistent.
I
I don't
love
think
that.
we plan it either.
No, we don't plan it, which makes it even more, I don't know, special, if you will. Wow, Anna Klumsky.
Just getting back to this, kind of like to wrap it up, what I want to know from the two of you is if you had the mind of Anna Delvey, okay? So if you had the skills and the personality of Anna Delvey, what do you think you would do to scam people? Like, what do you think you would do?
God, what wouldn't I do? What would I do? I mean, the first thing I would do is probably come up with something that couldn't come back to me. So I would have to offer some kind of service or something tangible, depending on the category. I mean, that's up to interpretation. That's to be
Please don't
decided.
pull a Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, no human sex trafficking. That's off the list. But, and listen, I am very open-minded. That's not on the list. But, otherwise, I would just want to come up with something that would be legitimate. I mean, that I could go to an accountant with and being like, listen, I offer this service. I mean, a scam is, subjective. I could be, but I'm still giving them something. So I don't know. I don't have a specific, but you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think for me, if I were to do a scam, first, I would only do it if I knew 100% I would get away with it.
I'd open a church. I changed my mind.
I thought you were going to open a cult
Yeah,
to scam people.
Yeah, that.
I thought we already were a cult.
I mean, we are, but we.
Just the three of us. We're scamming each other.
If anybody else wants to come on board,
That's right. If you want to come on board, and all you have to do is sign over your home.
and a billion-year contract.
That's right.
Billion.
A trillion. L. Ron Hubbard's here.
But like, if I were to scam people, I think I'd want to scam. I don't know, people like the people that I hate. You know,
Yeah.
Like your enemies.
my enemies. Yeah, like I don't know if I would want to make it like a personal thing. Like if I like scammed one specific person that wronged me, or if I were to like scam something like Trump supporters.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
Like-
think that's acceptable.
But part of me feels like she did what she did too for for the fame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Because
Like she's loving every second of this.
oh, absolutely.
And I'm sure if she was to know that there was that we were doing this episode, she would be loving every second of it. The fact that she's getting that attention.
I mean, we could reach out to her and do an update later.
I think she owes us money.
I think
Right?
she. Yeah.
Did she just scam us because we're talking about her?
I
This
think
bitch is
so.
getting free press.
I think
But if
so.
you
but she doesn't have
actually
to pay us.
if you want some really just trashy entertainment, look up the podcast Fake German Heiress. It's a radio play
Oh my god.
about Anna Delvey.
Fake German heiress.
I don't think it's on Apple. I think it's like on some website if you just type in Fake German Heiress podcast.
Oh.
But my friend Anna is a great read. I listened to the audiobook in a day.
Wow.
It was like 6 or 7 hours and I just couldn't stop. I'm like, keep talking.
Yeah.
Keep scamming.
Keep scamming. Keep keeping the dream alive, girl.
So yeah, I just...
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah, she's like a month out of prison. And like I said before, I'm jealous that she's doing more than I did in like
Yeah.
this year of the pandemic.
Well,
Well, hopefully she goes back to prison because she probably will.
But she's gonna get like a lot more opportunities than people that are honest.
But I guarantee
Yeah,
you
she
she's
will.
doing a
And
lot
she
of
is.
But she's probably doing a lot of what she's doing too because she has to pay back. She, there's a lot of debt that has to be paid.
It's true, but you know what I find to be so fascinating, right? Okay, so she does a year and a half hard time. It's no hard time.
was it really hard time, or was it like a fucking?
I know she was on
Howard
Rikers Island
Johnson's-
for a while.
Well,
with
that
barbed wire?
might have been hard time then.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, God.
No, I don't
Like
know.
I said, Howard Johnson's with barbed wire.
I mean, listen, nobody really knows, but
No.
I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, she's doing this and she's probably repaying her actual debt and, legal fees. But still, because of all of this, she now has a platform
She does.
to continue to make money, to fucking, go on and do a goddamn TED Talk.
I just want a tell-all story from her side. We got the tell-all from Rachel. I want the tell-all from Anna.
Yeah, and Rachel is just another capitalist who's capitalizing off of another capitalist,
So I definitely want...
which is American.
I want Anna Delvey's tell-all story. Or I want Anna to come on 2020 and talk to Barbara Walters. Like, that's what I want.
Or Bizarre Buffet.
Or Bizarre Buffet.
I mean, this
But
is.
she's gonna probably expect us to pay her, so she's not gonna be a free
I'll
guest.
I'll pay her in
we
a big
could
old fuck
scam
you.
her, and she would understand.
Yeah, maybe it'd be like a compliment.
We should message her.
You're so amazing.
We'll message
back.
her on Bizarre Buffet's Instagram, which, by the way, is what?
Oh, our Instagram account would be
Bizarre Buffet.
Bizarre Buffet.
And our Facebook.
Our Facebook is Bizarre Buffet Podcast.
And then finally, we do have a Patreon where
We
we will
do.
scam you.
Oh God, we'll scam
And
you
what's-
so
and
fucking
And send
hard.
pictures of our hands to you.
That's right.
What's our Patreon?
It's patreon.com. Are you listening? /Bizarre Buffet.
Great.
That's some soothing sounds.
Well, with that being said, my name's Anna Delvey.
And my name is Christopher Walken.
And I'm Gizmo from Gremlins.
Oh,
Thank you so much
Thanks for listening.
thank you for listening. Scam people, do it the right way,
And don't get caught.
and don't
Don't
get
get caught.
God bless. Good night.